Welcome back, guys. It is Friday. Was it July 15th? Yeah, I think I got that right. All right, so as of today, it's been 2 days. It's 2 days or 3 days? 2 days since I had uploaded the Pocket Change Market Report, where I talked about a new discovery error coin, which can be explained as being like a dual event type of find. So we're 48 hours out since I did that video. So I wanted to do a few things in this video to help you guys out. Number one, we're going to talk a little bit about this coin in general, what's being found out there. Talk about how to obtain the rolls to buy these, or to actually have a shot at finding these, because much like a few of the other error coins that we've seen, for instance, the Crown Die Chip, Washington crossing the Delaware quarter from last year, was a regional release as well. That was distributed in the states like Minnesota, Michigan, that area. This particular error right here was also regionally distributed, this time in the southeast of the U.S. Finally, the southeast region of the U.S. getting a little bit of love. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the states that you can find this at, kind of speculate on which Fed Reserve Bank that these are being found in, and most importantly, what's the secondary market value going to look like from this point forward? There's been a few examples found so far. We're going to talk a little bit about, again, where these are being found at, and it's kind of a wide range. I mean, it's exciting to see, but still very much kind of isolated in a specific part of the country, and these are probably going to end up a lot bigger than they actually are. So the coin in question that I had talked about is this 2022 Washington quarter. It's the Wilma Mankiller reverse. So this is the new American Women's Series of quarter that just came out about a month ago. Give or take a month ago, somewhere around there. I might be off by a week or two. And this is a coin that a lot of people were kind of waiting on, as all the other, some pretty nice, if not blockbuster errors from the Maya Angelou and the Sally Ride releases. So it was expected that we were going to see something pretty nice coming out of the third release of the year in the Wilma Mankiller. And sure enough, it didn't take that long to actually find something that is noteworthy. So let's go ahead and take a look at this quarter just to kind of recap you guys, get you guys familiarized with what we're looking for here. This coin ended up selling for right around $305 shipped. First ever sale of the coin. Some of you are probably going to ask, is this like on par with what the market is? Is it undervalued? I'm going to tell you this one thing. I think it's tremendously undervalued, but for a very specific reason. Sorry, my computer is running like garbage slow this morning. Oh, there we go. Nice. Jesus. All right. So a few things to point out. The seller actually got the date right. Actually put in Washington quarter. Did put the word error. However, got all of the error keywords completely wrong in there. It's neither a lamination. It's not laminated. It's not like we're laminating an ID card here. A completely different thing. It's not a split planchet at all. It is uncirculated. Fortunately for the seller, they did start it out at this dollar figure. Kind of like saves the day. But there is that, again, kind of like discoverer's curse, being the first one out to market. You're going to expect to get the lowest amount of money because nobody knows about the coin. But this was also coming from a brand new seller. I mean, congrats. I mean, you busted your cherry in a big way selling this thing. But what we have here, guys, is a double-sided retained cud event. All right. I could say this for sure. The obverse is most definitely a retained cud. We're going to take a look at that right here. And you can see the retained cud over the word liberty. All right, so retained cud means is that the piece of die had cracked but hadn't completely fallen out yet. So when you have a retained cud, you're going to get the displacement that you would expect. All right. However, you're still going to get some of the devices that are on the little piece of die being struck onto the coin. So when you look at this example right here, for instance, you're going to see that on the raised kind of this blob right here, which is the piece of die that had fallen off, and then when it strikes a coin will be a raised blob area. You'll see that you can see part of the B and E right on that piece. All right, so that supports the conversation of it being a retained cud and not a full-blown cud. When we look at the reverse of the coin, I'm trying to do, this is probably the best photo right here. This is something similar to what we have seen on the 2021 Lincoln cent with the K3 to K7 retained cud die break / crack / interior die break. I mean, that thing had it all. But this one right here has a crack around, like right around that K2 beginning start point, but it doesn't go all the way through. Now, the question is there another example floating around out there where we have a complete and total crack that goes from rim to rim? That's going to be pretty interesting. And it's going to be something that certainly we're going to have to keep an eye out on. I will tell you this, though. We're going to look at it here momentarily. There is one other coin that is currently on the marketplace, but only one example that is an earlier progression. It's a very interesting coin, all right? I think probably bar none, it's more interesting than this coin right here that sold for $305. But you'll notice that the crack doesn't go all the way through, all right? Which I think, I had estimated this coin of being worth, someday around $1,000 plus. I think I'm going to just go out on a limb and say that might still be the case. But I also believe that there is also maybe a later state of this coin where there's a full crack that goes rim to rim. That's going to matter the most to collectors of this particular era. Now, much like the obverse, you're going to see a lot of displacement. So when you see the word America, all right, so you're going to see shifting on the other second half of the RICA, so AME is fully struck onto the coin. However, the rest of it is not. So you got a lot of weakness there in that area because the die is compromised at that point. And you can see that it's upshifted a little bit too. There's the rim's a little bit flatter here. And this is spectacular. The fact that the crack goes through the star and then you see that displacement, the shift of part of the design from one side of the crack to the other is truly magnificent. So this is this might very well end up being the later state of this particular era, but this is the dual event where you have the obverse retained die break and then the die crack on the reverse. Right now, we're just going to say it's a die crack because it doesn't go all the way through rim to rim. Excuse me. So, a phenomenal find, breakthrough for sure for 2022. This is yet again another coin to be on the lookout for. That kind of supplements the. I'm just going to go ahead and throw out like the biggest errors so far for each of the three respective American Women series of quarters, and people were bashing this series from the get-go. That's unfortunate. The Maya Angelou had the large strike-through event on the obverse that went through In God We Trust and then into the ponytail of George Washington. And then in Sally Ride's case, we had that phenomenal die clashing. The strongest examples have sold in excess of $100 up to this point. That strike through, by the way, is selling between $25 and $50 for the bigger ones. They actually go up from there depending on how big that field restricted strike through event goes. And then we have this beast here, which so far this is one of three of the biggest coins for this year, all on the quarters. So that's the coin that we're looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Before I switch screens here, this one was sold in Pensacola, Florida. All right, so regionally, it's in the southeast area of the United States. Go to my video here where I talked about this coin in probably more greater depth than some of you wanted, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and shut that off there. But we're going to go into the actual comment section of the video, and people have actually reported on, sorry, I thought, yeah, my computer is acting very, because people have actually reported where they're finding these, and that's, see, there's like 96 comments, so quite a bit of activity there. One guy even had the gall to say, "Forever to get to the point." You know me, I'm not quick at delivering this information, and I don't care. But what I did was, thanks, appreciate it, man. So kind of like trolling him a little bit. So Jamie Allen says she got one in Texas. All right. So again, that's well within the region. Congratulations, Jamie. If this is the coin that you did find, that's a big deal. This kind of gives us a little perspective on how far westward these were being distributed at. Let's see. But yeah, overall, it's just been an overwhelming amount of just great kind of positive feedback from this particular find right here. The J.L. Hernandez says he ordered 14 bank rolls of these at $19.94 per roll, which I think is all right. That's how much I paid for them. I paid $20 a roll for them. So, and his question was, and this is actually one of the things that I wanted to talk about, because a lot of the coins, a lot of the rolls rather, upon the release of this information on my PCMR, sold out immediately. All the rolls that were sourced in the southeast region of the U.S., there were a number of, there was actually quite a few rolls coming from Jacksonville, Florida, that he ended up selling out, I believe. Some more from Atlanta, I believe, and then I believe either like Alabama or somewhere else, they also sold out of their rolls. I've been keeping track of just the market activity and how many of these have sold up to this point. But they were all in that $20 to $25 kind of price range. And that was kind of like, that's a fair rate, all right? But you're going to see that people are asking way too much more money for it. But the market for the individual errors hasn't quite caught up to its full potential. If these end up being $1,000 coins, we could certainly see the actual rolls go up in price. But I think we're going to see more of that big price movement as the next subsequent American Women's Series of quarters come out. So, Jay, I would say probably hold on to them and see where the prices of the individual coins go. If they shoot up a lot more, expect these rolls to be worth a heck of a lot more than $20 per roll. And these are, of course, again, on Philadelphia minted coins. Again, Barbara, you know, it has some stuff to say just about every video, and it's not particularly positive. Yeah, Barbara, I'm on the West Coast too. I've actually had to go out and buy the rolls. Okay, it's what you have to do, you know. And all, you know, Denver minted coins, it leaves a lot to be desired. To be honest, there's not too many varieties. There's not too many errors. You're going to have to become resourceful and, you know, just go out there, go on the open market, and then buy whatever you need to buy to make sure that you get at least a little bit of skin in the game. Because it's like, you know, it's like playing the lottery. You're like, oh, I'm going to win that lottery, you know, the $100 million jackpot. And if you don't play the game, then you're not going to have any chance at all at winning. Same with being in the coin business. If you know, you're on the West Coast, you want to hunt some of these 2022 Philadelphia quarters, you have to go out and actually buy them. All right. Sometimes it's not as easy as playing with house money, you know, paying face value for them at the bank if you're on the opposite side of the country. I'm sorry that has to be kind of like a a coming moment for this particular instance, but that's how it is. Let's see. So there's been a few people again that have reported where they have, and there's people like Kelsey that say, that's just like, talking about shit product of what the Mint's releasing. And I'm like, who cares, right? Who cares? We're living in a world where everything is still being ran by people. All right, people make mistake, and who cares? It's just, the negativity is just strong, in the community with some people, and me personally, I don't care. Let's see here. All right, so Christopher Robinson said got one in Mobile, Alabama. So that's again southeast region of the U.S. So one guy actually said, "Hey, I bought the three nickel clip errors that I had talked about in the video." It's always good to hear from people that were in some way involved in the sale on one of the pocket change market reports. Eric over here, one of my loyal guests of my channel, one on eBay right now with the same offer as I will actually take a look at that. The guy that I refer to as Jim, because that's his username, Jim Macker, is what it is on eBay, is actually Brian Rybar, and I didn't freaking know about that. He's, I believe he is currently working with Wexler as an assistant, because, those guys are like getting up there in age and all that. But Brian Rybar is known for his Jefferson nickel attribution work. So that's pretty cool to know. Now I know. All right. They're not recognized by the big boys, though. These are just, yes, they're brand spanking new. They are currently not out there. I mean, you could send them to PCGS for error attribution as a retained cut die break, and two-sided or whatever you want to put on there. Yeah, exciting times for sure. Yeah, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. You don't really need a magnifying glass or a loop to know what you have here. Awesome sauce. I'm an hour south of Atlanta. I'm going to try another bank because mine won't let me get boxes anymore. Yeah, well, what's up with that? Are you buying boxes and then sending them back to the same bank? You say your source bank is your dump bank? Yeah, I could see why they're not going to give you rolls. If that's the case, I would suggest that, if you did find another bank, that, you don't go overboard, number one. Number two, you don't dump where you eat. Yeah, so someone here, Nicole, said, I'm from Pensacola, and I even mentioned, I'm like, quick, Nicole, go to the bank and get some rolls. These errors travel together. They do. You find one, more than likely you're going to find a few more. So we have the Pensacola, Mobile, Alabama, and then one in Texas. And there's probably more in the region as well that has been found. And yeah, that's it. That's what we got there. All right, so let's go back to eBay here. And these are actual live listing sales. And again, going back to their original listing. All right, keep note of all the things that are missing from this listing that could have helped it along and probably made this thing sell for a lot more money. It's missing Wilma Mankiller in the title. It's missing Retain Cud Die Break, which is an important amount of keywords to sell something like this. So as long as you don't put these in there, you're not going to get nearly the amount of attention when you go to sell these. So if you guys find it and you're looking to sell it, make sure you're doing that. All right, so this is what I did type. So if you're curious to see what the market's like, go into coins and paper money. You don't even need to go into US coin errors. Just keep it here in coins and paper money. Wilma Mankiller error. All right, and it's a pop up all of the little errors and then the major ones of this particular coin. There's one notable listing that I need to show you guys, and that is going to be, let's see here, the pictures are not fantastic, but they do justice. All right, so here, this one right here that's been bid up with 3 bids, 103.50. Severe Error 2022 Wilma Mankiller quarter. It's okay if you don't know what a routine cut die break is, and you just don't know. Okay, it's fine. That's a free pass. But when you leave things out like the actual name of the American Women quarter that you're trying to sell, and you leave out other keywords, then that's going to do more harm than good. So let's go ahead and click into this one. This is the only other notable find that I wanted to share with you. So this one right here, 5 days left. Don't know if this is the same guy that had commented Christopher in my video. But as you can see, this one has that same retained cud die break on the obverse. And it's even got really strong B, E, and part of R on that piece as well. But another thing that you want to look at here, because this thing is nutty, is that it's a major strike through too. So you see the weakness there on the edge of the coin. There is probably quite a bit of grease. See, part of the date is missing as well. The mint mark is completely obliterated. But check out the reverse as well. Look at all the strike through on the back. All right, but notice what it does not have. It's got that obverse retained cud die break, but it does not have the die crack on the reverse, making this one probably the earlier state, but it's a unique piece because it's got that strike through on there. Now, are we going to see other quarters like this with just the obverse cud die break and the same amount of weakness? I don't know. There was a lot of kind of like that pasty grease that was on both sides of the die at the time. I just find it hard to believe that the mint did not notice a chunk of the obverse die was loose and jostled around to produce that phenomenal event. But even the seller threw in like a side-by-side photo. Again, not the greatest of pictures. There's a normal 2022p. There's the crazy-looking error right there. Here's one that's actually a pretty nice. I mean, you got to take full obverse pictures. This one is cut off and not doing this one justice for sure. Fortunately, there's enough meat on the bones here to, kind of put 2 and 2 together. This one's a little bit better picture. It's a little bit out of focus. Again, coin photography is not easy, but you always have to kind of try and, make sure your lenses are clean, play with photo settings and your camera settings on your device that you're using. But this is a very interesting coin. Now, speculatively, I think this one will sell for less than the $300 of the other coin that we saw sell on the 12th. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say that. This one I think is going to be somewhere in the $100 to $200 range value-wise, because it is what I consider to be the early progression or early state of this event. So if this, ladies and gentlemen, is another part of the coin that you can't find out there, so make sure you're flipping the coin over so you're looking at the obverse. You want to make sure that it has that just really outstanding retained cud die break on the obverse. But boy, the roll market got shook up, guys. Got shook up. Again, like I had mentioned, all of the southeast sourced rolls, so from like the Atlanta area where there's a Federal Reserve Bank and that services the southeast region of the U.S., a lot of these rolls sold out on day one. And again, they were selling out for between $20 and $25. So while that's uploading, we're just going to go back into the list here. The rolls I'm avoiding are the 3 roll sets from the mint. They're not going to provide anything other than really high price because of the S-Mint rolls. Stay away from the Denvers. There's been nothing that's been found there. The 2 main errors that people have found on this one, other than the retained cud die break event, is also clash dies. There's been a lot of clash dies found on these new coins. Here's another one here. So if you don't put a best offer in, you just buy it as is. It's $26 per roll shipped. This one right here is in Dover, Delaware. Nobody's really buying. Well, people are buying them. There's 58 that have sold up to this point. Don't know how many of that was sold as a result of the announcement I made. But as you can see, 15 rolls sold in the last 24 hours. So I'm sure this seller right here, Jeremy Fish, is having no problem selling a few rolls here and there due to the announcement of this error that has been discovered. I got one more thing to point out before I let you guys go. Here's another source of rolls. This is the only one that's sold, but it's from Phoenixville. So as of right now, until these things are being found further north, you're going to see less sales of these rolls here in this region, the northeast region, New England area of the U.S. We're probably not going to see too many of these rolls sell. So, but the people that do know and did watch Blue Ridge Silverhound, they are actually, and let's see if we can come across an actual listing. There's more Denver Mint rolls. Here's P Mint roll. Don't know where this one came from. Let's see here. While that's uploading. So, yeah, this one's interesting. We're up to $70 per roll now. And this one, I think, is the Southeast region source. I'm going to tell you guys right now. Yeah, Winder, Georgia. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not worth $70. But, there is an offer button right there. Try and keep them around $20, $25. Because the rolls are way overpriced, even at $20, $25 a roll, prior to the announcement of the error. All right, I think $20, $25 is just ridiculous. $20 is okay. $25 is way out there. But that is kind of like a normal dollar figure that I would expect to pay for those rolls if I'm looking for this error. So don't pay anything over $25 a roll as of right now. The one caveat that I will throw out there that might support these higher priced $50, $60, $70 levels per roll is if the coin in question hits kind of like that $1,000 to $1,500 range for the latest progression stage of the error examples. So this one right here, obviously none have sold because it would show. But yeah, this is where we're at, guys, for Southeast region rolls. $70 starting out, and that's before you put in a bid or an offer. And I'm willing to bet the seller probably won't accept anything under $50. Again, this is pure straight up arbitrage right here, and it's okay. I mean, it's okay if you sell them, but coming from me, I'm going to say avoid these high price listings. The market does not support $60, $70 prices on these rolls as of yet because the error is too new. All right, we don't know where these things are going to crest at. If it's over $1,000, then yeah, these might be worth it in the long run, especially toward the end of the year when we have the other two subsequent American Women quarters out already, and these are getting a little bit older and they've aged in circulation and on the market for a while. But yeah, here's a roll of two 2022 Ps. I'm not going to click into these because everything's just taking so long to upload. But yeah, the listings are few and far between now. I don't think there's any more $20, $25 listings for Southeast region rolls of this. I tend to stay away from the P&D roll sets. If they're genuinely from the bank, I avoid those because you just never know where those are coming from. Stay away from all the U.S. Mint stuff as well, unless you really do want those. This one right here, Newport, North Carolina. This is a tough one. I believe these are sourced from the Richmond, Virginia Federal Reserve Bank. And right now, there's nothing saying that there are any errors that have come from this particular Federal Reserve Bank source. So again, until further notice, maybe keep this one in your watch list until something comes out. But again, the error is only being found in the southeast area of the United States. So, let's see, that might be it. That might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, lots of rolls have sold out in the prior 48 hours. Sure, I'll take full responsibility for that. I do not care. That's just the way, things work out with this. When something hot and a prospect comes out for a certain error or variety, that, if it's not me, it's going to be someone else that's going to blaze up the market. Yeah, I have a little bit of clout when it comes to, what's relevant, and that's fine. But, it is what it is. If it's not me, it's going to be someone else, or this might come out in Coin World article or something, and then it's going to stir up the market anyways, or, it's going to make its way around Facebook and all of the forum chat pages, and, it's like, that's the world we live in. Social media drives awareness for this, and it's going to sell out everything like it normally does, right? Same with the video game world. When the PS5 came out, when the new Xbox came out, man, those things were being bought up on day one, and they're selling for like 5x, to 10x or whatever it is. So, the coin market is the same way, especially these circulation rarity type finds right here. And there's no other rolls to speak of that's in the market right now. So, obvious arbitrage event here. You can either buy the rolls to go through them, or you buy the rolls to resell. All right. So if you buy them for $20 and you prop them up on here for 60, I mean, that's a pretty good flip. It might be worth it, but of course there's that X factor. Your bank has these. This is the brand newest American Women series of quarters. There should be no reason why you can't get any of these. All right. And if you can't get them at bank number 1, go to bank number 2, go to bank number 3. Don't give up. People that have a hard time finding these or having a bank to play ball with is because they only go to one to two banks and then they call it quits. All right. You have to get 10 no's to get that one yes, and then it's all over. You win the day. Especially some of you folks that live in much bigger metropolitan areas. I mean, guys, you have it good. You could go to any bank that you choose. And how many banks are in an actual city like the city of Atlanta, right? Dozens of banks exist in the city of Atlanta. How about Macon, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Orlando? I mean, come on. How many banks exist in these larger metropolitan areas? It's just crazy. Mobile, Alabama, there's got to be a good, maybe 20 banks in that city alone. So, again, another great kind of like opportunity here. This may or may not be the only one for this year. As we saw from last year, man, when that 2021 Lincoln Cent error dropped, man, it blew up the internet. And it blew up the secondary market world like you would not believe. In a good way. There were a lot of people that made money. There were a lot of people that capitalized on the event, much like they did on the West Point quarters a couple years back. This is yet again another thing that the U.S. Mint is giving us. Who cares about crap quality? Because the crap quality is paying for people's well-being. They're adding supplemental incomes to a lot of folks that need it the most. If you want it, go out there and get it, because these coins are hot with 3 T's at the end. And you're going to do extremely well, whether you go through them yourself or you resell them. A lot of people will probably take the easy way and resell them for a massive profit. And I'm talking about the rolls. Then going out there, going through the rolls and trying to find that one elusive retain cut die break error that'll sell for $1,000. When you could just sell the rolls, sell 20 rolls for $1,000? Because these are out there and people want them. They're going to pay the massive amounts of money for them. So that might be the easiest way to sell these and make a huge premium, is to flip the rolls off, flip them, like if you get a full box, open up the box and sell them by the roll and do extremely well that way. You could literally, if you guys are making $2,000 a month as your income, you could easily 3x that with a couple of these boxes, and sure, it's a little bit of work. But this is going to be a way that you can make a huge difference in your life We're in the middle of summer. The holidays are fast approaching. Back to school's right around the corner. And everybody needs a little break, right? Everybody needs that break financially. And the U.S. Mint has given us just another medium to capitalize on. And I'm telling you this from a person that normally states this is not financial advice. Damn, guys. This is out there, and lots of people are going to take advantage of it. People are going to be making money. It's going to be making, like, you know, huge difference makers out there for a lot of people that need it. And last time I checked, southeast region of the U.S., there's a lot of people that could certainly use the extra income. This is going to be a way of doing it. Go to the bank, pull out $500, and hunt for these. And use that money, buy it, and then make a few $1,000s off of that one box of quarters. It's going to be dynamite. This whole event is just nuts, and I'm glad that this era has come out to where people can really make a difference in their life by taking advantage of this. Now, me personally, as a coin person, I just want one example for myself. And, you know, I'm an error variety guy by nature. And, you know, the money's great for the people that need it. Me, I'm comfortable. I'm not rich. I'm not poor. I'm not anything. I love the hobby. And this is what really matters when something like this comes out and it truly collects enough interest and dynamic kind of like team building with people. You know, and it's like, yeah, we're all in this hobby together, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I want you to find a box. I want you to find a box. There's none of this, you know, selfish nature to this. You know, it's the very reason why I'm talking about this is if there was some other person that was able to get 10 boxes or to crack open a few boxes and find 20 of these things, damn, I'm your biggest cheerleader. All right. I don't know about some of you, but me personally, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear people winning, and winning is what matters in life today, in all aspects of life. So that's what I wanted to talk about quick. Well, it wasn't quick at all. Damn, it was 37 minutes. But yeah, you got everything you need to know. The last thing that I'm going to let you guys know before I let you guys leave, I do not believe that this coin has been sent off to cudsoncoins.com for correct attribution. So that might be, you know, a nil point if maybe they have received one. But yeah, this thing's going to get fast-tracked onto the website and attributed as such. They're looking for the early progressions. They're looking for the later states. We've seen them both in this video, so make sure you're looking out for both. But look out for everything. Errors are ripe all across the quarter brand for 2022. And that, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I'm standing behind. The quarters, again, are hot off the rocker, hot off the presses, and they are going to continue to perform admirably. Thank you guys for joining. Boy, what a long video. Sorry about that, as usual. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for instant notifications. As always, I'm on TikTok at BlueRidgeSilverhound. That's going to go ahead and do it for this one, guys. Best of luck in your hunts. I wish you guys nothing but success. Go to the banks today, not tomorrow, and get yourself some of these rolls. All right, see you guys. Have a good one.